Born on December 2, 1966, in the vibrant twin island nation of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Roodal Moonilal has built a reputation as one of the sharpest, most eloquent, and most persistent voices in Caribbean politics. A long-standing stalwart of the United National Congress, his journey from humble beginnings to the national spotlight tells a story of resilience, intellect, and unshakable commitment to public service. Over the decades, Munilal's career has traversed the fields of academia, trade unionism, law, and politics, shaping him into one of Trinidad and Tobago's most influential contemporary leaders. This is the remarkable story of Roodal Moonilal, the man who rose through the ranks of education, labor activism, and political service to become a central figure in Trinidad and Tobago's political narrative. Early life and education. A scholar in the making. Roodal Moonilal's early years were grounded in the cultural richness and intellectual energy of Trinidad. Growing up in a time of social change and evolving national identity, he developed a fascination with governance, law, and justice. From a young age, Munilal displayed an unrelenting curiosity about how power worked and how it could be used to improve lives. His academic brilliance soon began to shine. After excelling in his studies locally, Munilal pursued higher education at the University of the West Indies, UWI, St. Augustine campus, where he graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree, honors in government. But that was just the beginning. Driven by an insatiable hunger for knowledge, he obtained a Bachelor of Laws, LLB, from the University of London, further sharpening his understanding of the rule of law and its role in governance and social justice. His intellectual journey didn't stop there. Munilal went on to complete a Master of Arts degree in Labor and Development at UWI, graduating magna cum laude in 1991/1992. It was during this period that he began to see how academic knowledge could merge with activism, how theory could translate into tangible policy and action. In the mid-1990s, Munilal took his studies to the global stage when he pursued a Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, in Development Studies at the International Institute of Social Studies, ISS, in The Hague, Netherlands. His area of specialization, industrialization, labor relations, and urban employment, would later form the backbone of his political and academic philosophies. Impressively, his thesis received the first ever cum laude distinction in the history of the ISS PhD program, marking him as a scholar of extraordinary merit. While many politicians enter public life through business or activism, Munilal's foundation was firmly academic. His sharp intellect and dynamic personality found expression in the classroom long before the parliamentary chambers. Between 1988 and 1998, he served as a part-time tutor in politics at the University of the West Indies, as well as a teaching and research assistant at the Institute of Social Studies in The Hague. He wasn't just an academic confined to theory. He was a hands-on educator, deeply invested in developing a new generation of Caribbean thinkers. By the late 1990s, Munilal had transitioned into consultancy and advisory roles, working as director of the Policy Monitoring Unit in the Office of the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago in 1999. Around the same time, he became an industrial relations consultant and advisor to the Northwest Regional Health Authority, NWRHA, in Port of Spain. At UWI, he continued to lecture in industrial relations and human resource management, helping to shape the minds of countless students who would later enter Trinidad and Tobago's business and public sectors. These experiences, in teaching, consulting, and policy advising molded Munilal into a rare kind of politician, one who could blend intellectual sophistication with the pragmatism of governance. Trade union roots, championing the working class. Before he became a fixture in the parliament, Roodal Moonilal was a fierce advocate for the working people of Trinidad and Tobago. His early professional life was deeply intertwined with the trade union movement, particularly the All Trinidad Sugar and General Workers Trade Union, ATS/GWTU. Between 1989 and 1995, he served as the head of the Department of Education, Research and Training within the union. His role there placed him at the front line of labor advocacy, where he championed the rights of sugar workers, one of the country's most marginalized and economically vulnerable groups at the time. His work with ATS/GWTU honed his ability to connect with grassroots communities, understand their struggles, and translate their grievances into structured policy demands. These years cemented his reputation as an articulate voice for labor rights, and it was during this time that his transition into politics began to take shape. Even after entering the political arena, Munilal maintained his connection with the labor movement. In 1999, he was rehired by ATS/GWTU in an advisory capacity, showing that his commitment to the cause of workers was more than a stepping stone. It was a lifelong passion. Political ascent, building a legacy within the UNC. Roodal Moonilal's political journey began in the early 1990s when he joined the newly formed United National Congress, UNC, a political party led by the legendary Basdeo Panday. As one of the party's founding members, Munilal took on the role of youth affairs officer, helping to mobilize young people across the country. His charisma, eloquence, and intellectual grounding quickly made him a rising star within the party. By 2001, he was appointed a government senator, marking his formal entry into national politics. In the 2002 general election, Munilal won the seat of Orapush, securing his place in the House of Representatives. His parliamentary performances, laced with wit, depth, and rhetorical sharpness, quickly made him one of the most recognizable figures on the opposition benches. Throughout his career, Munilal held several ministerial positions, including Minister in the Ministry of Labor, Manpower Development and Industrial Relations, Minister of Communications and Information Technology, and later Minister of Housing, Planning and the Environment, later renamed Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. As Minister of Housing from 2010 to 2015, during the administration of Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar, Munilal led one of the government's most ambitious social programs, providing affordable housing to thousands of citizens. His leadership of the ministry was marked by efficiency, modernization, and a strong commitment to transparency in public housing distribution. His ability to combine policy intellect with political skill also earned him the role of leader of government business in the House of Representatives, where he managed the legislative agenda with precision and strategic flair. Return to power and current role, the Energy Minister. In 2025, following renewed political momentum for the UNC, Roodal Moonilal's career took another major leap forward when Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar appointed him Minister of Energy and Energy Industries. It was a fitting appointment for a man who had spent years studying industrialization and development economics. As minister, Munilal was tasked with overseeing one of Trinidad and Tobago's most vital sectors, the energy industry, which remains the backbone of the national economy. Under his stewardship, the ministry began focusing on energy diversification, sustainable development, and the expansion of renewable energy initiatives. His leadership was seen as both pragmatic and visionary, balancing economic interests with environmental consciousness. This new phase of his career cemented Munilal's status as a heavyweight in Trinidad and Tobago's political landscape. A scholar-politician with the experience and intellect to steer the nation's economic future. Personal life, the family behind the politician. Behind the fiery parliamentary debates and the polished public persona lies a man deeply grounded in family and personal faith. Roodal Moonilal is married to Natasha Munilal, née Chadi Singh, a woman known for her quiet strength and support. The couple has maintained a relatively private life, despite Munilal's high-profile career. Those who know him personally describe him as a family-oriented man who values loyalty, education, and humility, traits that have helped him navigate the often turbulent waters of Caribbean politics. Munilal's personal discipline and academic habits remain integral to his lifestyle. He is known to be an avid reader, a meticulous researcher, and a firm believer in lifelong learning, qualities that continue to influence his approach to governance and leadership. Net worth and financial standing. As of 2025, Roodal Moonilal's estimated net worth is reported to be around 1.5 to 2 million US dollars. His wealth is derived from multiple sources: his long-standing parliamentary career, ministerial salaries, academic consultancy work, and investments. Please subscribe for more.